Well, hello, and happy whatever day it is wherever you are when you listen to this. For me, it is a Wednesday. And that used to be Odin, the old gods. I don't know if any of you have seen American Gods. Unfortunately, Neil Gaiman has been outed as a serial rapist, so that's not great. Even his own wife, Amanda Palmer, said he'd done that 14 times. 14 times. Apparently, Jared Leto has 9 allegations. Russell Brand has 7. Trump has 25. So when people see that, their first instinct is, oh, smear campaign. It's because they're speaking truth against the establishment, or because they're different, or they're being railroaded, or they're innocent, and no, this is how Kompromat works, in my opinion. This is all just opinion, and for entertainment purposes. Are we not entertained? I'm not entertained by rapists who are still platformed. I'm not entertained by rapists who had cult protection forever, and then suddenly they are out of favor, or they are no longer useful. So the things they've actually done start leaking out. Is that because we didn't have Me Too before 20 years ago and people were afraid to speak out? Probably. Do you know how many rapes go unreported or underreported? A fuck ton. Not to be crass with my language, but I want people to understand the nuances of these things. It looks like, oh, they're speaking out, or they're, not popular, and they're not making as much money or whatever, right? They're all rapists, you guys. Every single one of the A-listers has committed rape, murder, theft, lying. Like, this is what they do. And you can't say, it's not all of them. It is all of them. Or we wouldn't know their name. We wouldn't know their face. They wouldn't have big platforms. They wouldn't make big money. They would be in obscurity, right? So 2 things can be true. Someone can be out there saying things you agree with and you like and you want to support. Someone out there can be creative and interesting and flamboyant, and you can feel sorry for them when they get, their ass kicked in the media. But these things that are coming out are things they've been sitting on. That's what blackmail is. Diddy had an operation. Epstein had an operation. Ghislaine was a, groomer. Like, these people are guilty of these things that they're accused of, in my opinion. And worse, okay? So the things that make the media are tame compared to the things they do behind the scenes and in rituals. So please understand that Kompromat is one of the pipelines of how they become famous and stay famous. So they own you when they do this thing that is supposedly called gun child camera. They put a gun to the celebrity's head, and they bring out a hotel cart of all kinds of drugs, or, whatever, some alcohol, and they drug them, or they give them mind-altering substances, allegedly, and then they bring children into the room and someone films it, okay? And that is every single one of them. Every Grammy winner, every Oscar winner, every high-level, high-paid athlete, every megachurch pastor, every politician that's high level. You would not know them, and they would not be in your living rooms, on your screens, if they were not guilty of heinous crimes against humanity. We won't even get into pushing the vaccines and the death jabs. We won't get into that, because that's a whole other kettle of fish. All right? So please understand that you might be charmed by them. That's part of the spell. You might be, feel an affiliation or an affinity or a sympathy or an empathy for them. That is curated. That is deliberate. That is programming. So there aren't any good ones who are in the resistance, who are speaking against the establishment. It is all the same cult with different covens and different talking points and different messaging. But it is all New World Order, and it is all satanic, and it is all evil. I'm going to go on the record saying this now. People can think I'm crazy. I'm wearing my tinfoil hat. I'm paranoid. I'm schizophrenic. Call me whatever you need to call me. I've been called every name in the book except my own. So there you go. That's what I have to say today to unpack that They're lying to you. They're fooling you, and then they're laughing at you. They're doing psyop upon psyop upon psyop upon psyop. But they are, in fact, guilty of the crimes they are accused of. Do not get it twisted and think they are falsely accused. They're not, because there's an accumulation. There's pattern recognition. There's people who were afraid to come out. There's people who maybe are doing cash grabs and exploiting the situation who are fraudsters. Absolutely, that's in the mix. However, on the whole, they are guilty until proven innocent in my book. It used to be the opposite, right? For the regular citizen, to me, it's still due process and judicial system. They run their own. They have their own draconian laws. They have their own optics and lavender marriages and grooming. Oh my God, the endless grooming, right? Everything is to spin a narrative and to make you confused, to chaos monger and to fear monger and divide and conquer. So if you just understand a baseline that there is an us and a them, there are the elites and there are the regular people. The elites are here to exploit you, to lie to you, to make you feel like they can relate to you and they're down on your level. And meanwhile, they go off and smoke cigars, drink whiskey, hurt children in ritual, and laugh at you for believing it and for buying it. That's what they do. How do I know this? I'll put in the comments 10 and a half hours of podcasts of how I know this. I wish I didn't. I would love to unknow it. But unfortunately, being blacklisted, gang-stalked, gaslit, and tormented for almost a decade has shown me that if you know their name, they're in the game, and the game for them is human trafficking and profiting from the pain of children. So I'm just waiting for the world to catch up, man, you know? And I'm not saying I'm like superior or I have this incredible intellect and everybody else is dumb. I'm just saying I know some things. And I know some more things than, you know, a bunch of people. And then other people have puzzle pieces and know things I don't, right? So I don't want to sound arrogant, but I do feel a little bored and a little like this is so repetitive now and this is so ridiculous. And I wish that more and more people would wake up faster and see through it. Voting is a farce. They are, you know, they're a whole other species, put it that way. They're more demon than human. They're more devious and deviant and inverted and perverted than you could possibly ever imagine. So when you see someone being perp walked or, you know, wearing orange and shackles, that's a show too. That's a fall guy. They're throwing you the lesser to mid fall guys while the big ones skate free and build ballrooms, okay? But nobody wants to look at that. And everybody wants to have a daddy figure in a tie, even though it's a female cosplaying. In my opinion, allegedly. Have a nice day, everybody. You can just process this, dismiss me as crazy, take some of it as seeds, water it later. But I'm saying it now. I'm saying they are fucking guilty of hurting children, of hurting women, and of hurting you by deceiving you. So don't buy it. Move your energy and attention away, but just absolutely understand that literally everything they do and say is deception, and that's in their written materials, that if you can be fooled, you deserve to be fooled. So don't be fooled. All right? Big love, big hugs, and keep on going in your own direction, in your own fate, your own karma, your own destiny, and your own dharma, because they don't give a shit about you, and they never will.